The guests always say that's the longest 15 seconds of the show is when that music's playing. Nothing's happening. Brady Collins, the strength guy for the Badger football team, was on last, and he just started breaking it down, man. It was like I'm not sure, like he was on a dance contest or something. It was awesome. Love it. A real resume builder for a strength coach. You can use it in recruiting. Fix use it in recruiting videos already. Well, welcome to episode 5 of the Scary Alvarez Podcast, which has already lasted almost as long as Brett Bielema at a Golden Corral buffet. So things are going pretty well. Today is a special episode as we turn our attention to Wisconsin basketball. I'm excited to welcome the first 3 Badger hoop guests in the history of the podcast, freshman John Blackwell, Nolan Winter, and Gus Yalden. Welcome aboard, gentlemen.
Thanks for having us.
Appreciate that. As I mentioned in the green room before, remember to speak very loudly and forcefully. Pretend you're Greg Gard yelling at me for taking a shot without 4 passes.
All right, sounds good.
Nervous laughter. I love it. It's not going to be the last time, buddy. All right, so let's start off by having you all introduce yourselves and tell my audience a few things that they should know about you. We'll go clockwise, start with Nolan.
All right, my name is Nolan Winter. I'm a freshman here at Madison, Wisconsin, playing basketball. Moved in about 2 months ago, and I'm loving it here so far. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. I mean, the people here, the community, basketball is just really welcoming and a place I'm really excited to be for the next 4 years. So, yeah, a little bit about me. There you go. John?
My name is Jonathan Blackwell. I'm from Michigan. I'm just excited to be here. I'm ready to work as we've been working. I'm just loving the process, the grind that we've been going through, the practice, connecting with the guys. And I'm really excited for the season to win games, to do something special at this program, and just make an impact as us freshmen. I feel like we're going to make a big impact.
Love it. Gus?
My name is Gus Yalden. I'm originally from Appleton, Wisconsin. I finished my prep school career at Lalamere. I'm super happy to be back in the state and to be playing for a team that I grew up watching and grew up loving. I'm really thankful that I have the opportunity to be here and to be competing with some of the best players in the Big Ten and in the country. And I think it's been a lot of fun so far. I really like it here. It's been super enjoyable. The coaches have been awesome. My teammates have been really fun. And then the people in the city have just been super welcoming and super cool, and just super excited to get rolling in the season and to have a great career and a great year here.
That's great. And I agree. Madison has such a great set of people. When I'm driving by in my limousine, I like to sometimes roll my window down and wave at them just to say hi. Just to kind of, I'm one of the people, just to kind of connect. It's a good feeling. It's a good feeling.
Yeah.
I don't slow down or anything, but I do roll the window down if it's not too cold. Gus, we kind of ended with you, but I'm going to go back to you. You mentioned about being a Badger fan. I know I'd heard my researcher Joe Ferguson, my unpaid intern researcher, did some background stuff on you and says you've been a fan since you were young. When did you first become a Wisconsin fan? Was it in the womb?
I don't know. I guess it was when I was born, because I was born in College Park, Maryland, but moved here when I was 2 months old. So I guess when I was a little kid, I grew up a Wisconsin fan with all the shirts, the headbands, all the stuff. But I guess I didn't really start liking the program and understanding like what it meant to be a Badger fan until I was probably 10, 11, 12 years old. I came to the Melvin Gordon game where he broke the rushing record. When I was a little kid, and pretty much from then on, it was Badgers or bust from that.
Yeah, so if I'm doing my math correctly, that puts you as a young fan right around the time that Frank and Sam and the boys were being robbed of the national title by some horrific officiating, perpetrated by a I guess what must be said as a Mike Krzyzewski arm around the shoulder on the way off the court at halftime. Justice touched it. You know what that means.
Yeah, I do. It's frustrating. It's hard. It put me out of commission for school the next day. It's just so heartbreaking. I remember crying, and my mom's like, "You're not even playing. Why are you so sad?" And I was like, "It was so close. We were so close." So just that sentimental value kind of just stings a little bit, puts a chip on my shoulder, wants me to do great things here so that I can be celebrated like those guys were celebrated, and then so I can inspire little kids just like they inspired me, so we can all kind of repeat the cycle and make this place even more special than it is.
That's right. I mean, having a chance to go one step further than even, it's probably the best team in Wisconsin history in 14-15, where they took it. Nolan, my unpaid intern researcher I mentioned, Joe, tells me that you're from Minnesota.
Yes,
Is
sir.
that correct?
Yes, sir. Lakeville, Minnesota. Yep.
What was it like to grow up in a state without a major college basketball program?
Well, first off, I mean, Minnesota, I feel like has always been, like, high school hoops have always been slept on heavily. As of right now,
Not like Red Guard.
Yeah. The last couple of years, though, all the recruits we've been pumping out have been kind of unreal. I mean, everyone coming out of Minnesota, going to all these different places. So, I mean, obviously growing up in Minnesota, being able to compete against all these high-level players have helped me be the player I am today. So it's been awesome growing up in there competing.
A lot of talent up there. And by the way, Gus, I gotta be honest, man. Your hair reminds me so much of my own. It's almost like looking into a mirror. I don't know what we can exchange tips on what product to use, pomade, or we'll figure it out. But yeah, it's just a real eerie. I mean, probably get that a lot, huh?
Yeah, I definitely do.
Yeah, John, as a Michigan guy, what was your favorite college basketball team growing up, and why was it Wisconsin?
So I used to hate Wisconsin, to be honest with you.
I just choked on my cherry. What? You hate Wisconsin?
I didn't like Wisconsin growing up because I was a big Kentucky guy. Because I used to like my favorite player of all time is John Wall. So I used to like watch John Wall highlights in college and all that. But I was a Michigan guy. Like I used to watch Michigan growing up, like Trey Burke, some of those teams, Karis LeVert, Nick Stauskas. I was big fans of those teams and what they did. So I used to hate it, but then when they started recruiting me, I started like diving deeper into like the history of Wisconsin, and I started to fall in love with the program.
There's a lot to like. I mean, a lot of people says that the Michigan program slaps, but I do know that they've had some strong success over the years. But the Badgers really, I feel like I might be a little biased here, John, but I am a big Wisconsin basketball fan, and I have been for a number of years. And we're glad we have Greg Garden there doing some good work. It's going to be an exciting season. You kind of touched on this. A couple of you touched on this, but what? Without getting too technical, what ultimately sold each of you on becoming a Badger? Because it might surprise you. Some kids that Wisconsin recruit ultimately decide to go to other schools, which might be a surprise for you guys to hear that. Recently, there was a kid who did. But Gus, why don't you start with that? I mean, I know you already kind of gave us some insight into that as a kid, but what was the cherry on top that made you want to go to Wisconsin?
Honestly, they were brutally honest, which is something that I really appreciated. On my official visit, Coach Gard and Coach Krabnoff were telling me, they're like, you're not going to like it here. There's going to be days where we're your least favorite people in the world, where you're wondering if you still want to be playing, where you're questioning yourself, you're doubting yourself. Like, you're going to struggle here. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be fun. But at the end of the day, we're going to be here for you. Your teammates are going to be here for you. And this program is going to be here for you. And we're going to help you get through it. And you're going to be a great player here. And through the whole recruiting process, other schools were like, you're going to be a great player here. You're going to love it here. Like, it's going to be amazing, all this, all that, selling it to be this great thing. But none of them would really go into the parts that I wouldn't like and the things that I'd have to go through and the challenges. And they weren't telling me how they were going to be there and what it was going to be like off the court. And this place, it just kind of felt like a big family. And there's going to be their arguments. There's going to be their downsides, but it's all going to come together at the end of the day. And we're all in it for the same mission, same dream. And that's what I appreciated. That's what I loved. And just being back in my home state, there's a no-brainer.
And that's all great, Gus. And I remember correctly, during your recruitment, I think it might have been before and or after you committed, you were almost like an extra recruiter for the Badgers. I know you were a big fan of the team, and definitely you may have reached out to Nolan and John here yourself.
No, I mean John committed first, so he hit me up, I remember that, and I was like, yeah, I don't know. And then I remember like 2 months later, and I took my visit, and I was like, yeah, this is for sure. And then Nolan, I tried to get for a while. I was kind of skeptical. I honestly did not think we were going to get Nolan for a while, but I wanted him, but I didn't know if we were going to get him or not.
Okay, and so John and Gus, y'all were kind of co-rush chairs for getting the new recruits in. Okay, I love it. And John, you mentioned some things earlier about you felt it was a family, and some of the things that drew you to Wisconsin. Was there a moment you can remember when you kind of had that aha feeling, and you're like, "I'm going to Wisconsin"? Like, what was it? What was it that if it's what kind of turned you and said, "This is it, Madison for me"?
Like it was like gradually like things that were consistently happening. I mean, one thing about Wisconsin, they were consistent with the recruiting. They always checked in. Coach Reef always checked in on me almost every day, just asked how I'm doing. And I even talked basketball, just talked life with me. And like Gus said, he kept it real with me. Just told me like real stuff, like didn't sugarcoat it at all. And then when I came up here on my official, I just loved it. Like the guys, this was around the time Johnny was still here, Brad was still here. And the guy just embraced me in, just told me the real, like this place is really gonna grow you, really gonna strengthen you. And then I just loved the atmosphere of Wisconsin. It was just a family environment. And then they were winning games, so why not go somewhere where they was winning games?
That was a great season. I have to ask, the first time you met Brad Davison and you approached him, when you got near, did he fall over backwards and try and draw a charge? Just out of instinct?
Nah.
Okay, just making sure. That's a compliment, by the way.
Yeah.
And Nolan, you said some of the same things, but as John just said, they were and Gus, they weren't quite sure that you were gonna do it, despite the fact that you were from Minnesota, which I would have put the money on you making that call. But what did it for you? What clicked?
Yeah, so I took my official visit here last August, actually on this day. And I mean, and just being around the players, I mean, the players really sold me. It was a place I could really see myself for the next couple of years. The city itself was a place where you can walk around, have fun with friends, go to the lake, do all sorts of stuff. And it's obviously a safe city that you'd want to be in. And the atmospheres of the football game and just the tradition we have here. Everything about this city was a place that I really could see myself for the next couple of years and building like lifelong relationships with good friends and all that. So
that's great stuff. So they took you to 2022 football games and you still signed. That's good to hear.
Yep.
It's good to hear. That's okay. It's a new era. It's a new thing. We're going to do it differently this year. So y'all are doing summer workouts now. We talked about that in the green room too. What's the biggest change between high school and AAU ball and college ball besides the staggering number of bars you walk by on the way to practice? Whoever wants to jump in.
It's more structure here than high school ball. It's a lot more freedom too. With me for the practices and the summer workouts, it's a lot more fundamental than what I'm used to, but I love it. I need that in my game. It's a lot more being disciplined, running more sets than I was used to in high school. It was pretty much free. And it's a lot more me playing off the ball a little bit more than I was used to in my high school, which I'm really happy is going on because you need to learn that also.
That's good. Gus?
Yeah, I'd say probably like the biggest thing for me so far has been like the physicality and the strength. I'm a bigger guy, I guess, like just the way I'm a heavier set guy. So I always could do like kind of my own thing in high school and in AAU. Like it wasn't a problem for me to post up or to steal someone on the block. Just kind of get early positioning was never really hard for me. And now kind of playing against guys like Big Steve and even Chris Hodges, Carter Gilmore, Nolan, Marcus Ilver, Tyler Wall, all these big guys, they're a lot more stronger, a lot more physical. They compete harder. They know what to do on the post. So it's kind of like you got to get more in your bag, use more pump fakes, use different moves because you can't just take one dribble, put your shoulder into someone, and get to the front of the rim. And then the practices, they've just been a lot faster. The game is a lot faster when you get to college, like the way the ball moves up the court and how quickly the ball's getting swung around the perimeter. You got to stay sharp, and there's no room for mental lapses. And then same with the weight room too. It's just we get in there and you got a bunch on your sheet. You got to get done in a short amount of time. So it's about getting it done, not taking too long of breaks in between sets, and kind of just getting through the grind.
I recently squatted 900 pounds. How do you guys compare to that?
I don't
do that, but you got that.
Not quite. No, along the question that Gus was getting at, what's it like going against Crowell in practice? And by the way, I've been told that his heart rate has never gone above 50. He's a cool customer. He just kind of has that. His heart rate remains between 49 and 50 no matter what he's doing.
Yeah. Steven's just a dude that's just always like his head's always at the same level. He's not going to get too up or too down. And being able to compete against him personally for me is going to benefit me so much, even for this year. Just getting the experience, asking him questions when I need it. He's teaching me a ton of stuff, and just battling with him in the post. It's going to help me a ton for these next couple of years. So having Steve around right now for sure is a great benefit to me.
And to be clear, he hasn't tried to like stuff you in a locker or anything. There's no that stuff's going on. Okay, because you might get your guys here, Gus and John, and fight back if that ever happens. I'm not suggesting that Stephen Quayle's a bully. I'm just saying, like, back in the day when I was playing sports, it was a different world.
Nah, Steve's a nice guy. Steve's like the nice guy on the team.
Yeah,
one of the funniest too, for sure.
Steve's the nicest guy on the team, and one of the funniest. Besides Steve, who would you say is the second or the first and or second funniest guy on the team?
I gotta go Ross.
Oh, yeah. Ross, and then I'd say Max Klesman.
Yeah, Max Klesman.
Okay. Yeah. It's a good thing I didn't take – Vegas has a Siegen, and I'm glad I didn't take that bet. And the reason why I think there was a TV show on Big Ten Network last summer you all might have seen when Wisconsin took a trip to France. Yeah. And a Siegen was going to jump in this, like, polluted river off a boat for, like, $50 or something. I can't remember I don't want to cheapen the act, but he was just this freshman, this true freshman's ready to just, like, jump in the sign, and guard apparently came over and, and put the kibosh on that, but that led me to think that guy might be fun at a party. I don't know. You don't have to reveal anything here, but keep an eye on that guy.
I got you.
Any of y'all live in Ogg Hall?
No, we're in Smith next year.
Smith. Okay, that's a new one. There's been some changes. Is that Lakeshore?
No, it's by the Kohl Center. It's like that tunnel that goes past LeBon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if you literally just take that tunnel straight past LeBon and then take a left, and you're right there. There's like one more left, but it's right, like 5-6 minute walk from the Kohl Center.
Does it have a helicopter pad? Because that's the only way I'm gonna be able to visit.
Unfortunately, it does not.
Okay, well that's work. That's fine. No, I'm not judging. That sounds good. So Ogg Hall, and the reason I brought that up is I'm not sure if y'all are familiar with this, but Ogg Hall and I have had a little bit of a beef in past years because I think it was the 2020-2021 season. Some of those geniuses up in Ogg Hall did a fire guard sign in their window and then put the target at the dawn on them. And then I think Wisconsin went like a 9-game winning streak after that, and they couldn't scrap that fast enough. But just keep them in check. What I'm saying is if there's a party in Ogg Hall or something, just keep your head in the swivel. You just can't trust those kids.
I got you.
I presume some of the kids that were there 5 years ago are still there because they haven't graduated yet. Madison is a beautiful city with endless numbers of cool things to do and experience. What are you planning to do for the other 4 months of the year?
Work out, get in the gym, perfect our craft. Yeah, stay in the gym.
Perfect.
This works better when I don't talk to kids from Minnesota and Michigan who are living cool their whole life. Get a Florida kid in here and say, "But Gus, you saw the southern climes of Indiana. What was that like?"
The same, not much different. Just not as much snow, I guess. I don't know. It's Midwest weather is Midwest weather. You get what you get wherever you go.
Gotta like that sun when you get it. You may or may not have heard. I own a number of wine islands in the Caribbean and off the coast of Spain. And when the three of you were of a proper drinking age, perhaps after you've moved on from the Badgers to the NBA, we can talk about getting you guys a B&B there. We'll talk about it.
For sure.
Who is your favorite ex-Badger basketball player and why, John?
My favorite ex-basketball. That's hard because I don't know too much history, but I definitely like Decker. And right now it's got to be Johnny Davis to me. So.
Yeah, those are two good ones, and Decker was going to love that. He might. I don't know if there's a way to retweet that, but he's going to do it. Gus, favorite ex-Badger. You go back a little further in the cycle.
Yeah, I don't know. I like Brian Butch a lot. He was cool. Krabnoff, and then Sam Decker, Frank Kaminsky.
Krabnoff, that was a good answer.
Yeah.
Gus is a smart kid. Because Krabnoff's a huge fan of the show, so he's gonna check that out. Nolan, who you got?
I'm gonna go with John Lure. Seen him play. I worked out with him a little bit this summer, so he's a good guy, and obviously had some game here. So
Lure was great, and those on listening right now who may not remember, Lure was a Minnesota. Was he a Minneapolis kid?
yeah, he was in Orono, smaller town. But,
Gotcha, Orono. I think they're known for their hockey team. Is that right?
Yeah, pretty much every high school in Minnesota is known for their hockey. So, and they're up north more. So, yeah, they're known for their hockey.
Did you play hockey, Nolan?
No. I can't skate. I gotta find some.
The fact that he can't even skate is wild.
You're the only kid to graduate from a school in Minnesota who can't skate. What's that like?
Well, first off, I haven't found any skates my size. I mean, I could maybe, if I could squeeze into them, I could figure it out. But it's difficult right now, and I'm a little past that. So,
Nolan, I'm 5'11", I'm listed at 6'1", with a 17 triple E. What do you got?
with a what?
I'm a size 17 triple E shoe.
Yeah, I'm size 17. So, I mean, perfect.
Almost there.
All right. Yeah.
Keep. You never know. You may have a growth spurt there at the end.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a word association game. This is always the fun part. This is I'm gonna go one by one here. Gus, I'm gonna start with you. First thing you think of when I say these words or phrases: Frank the Tank.
Beast. Unit. I don't know. Legend. One of those three for sure.
Okay, you didn't make an old school movie reference. I love it.
No.
John, Hunter Dickinson.
Weirdo.
See, we got this Michigan guy. He's a Badger now. I love it. That was pretty. You went easier on him. You know, a lot of people haven't noticed this. You guys know the Chainsmokers? Y'all ever heard of them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I swear to God, Hunter Dickinson is in. He's one of those dudes. When you get off here, Google the Chainsmokers. He's like the not good looking one. He's the other dude. He's the one that goes doot 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 every song they do. That's him. Nolan, I'm gonna give you a tough one. Greg Gard. Or maybe it's easy.
Friendly.
John, I like that one. I don't know. Friendly. All right, that sounds good. I love it.
Oh.
Gus, Johnny Davis.
The best player we've had in the past 3 years.
Ooh, you said a word.
NBA pick. I don't know. There's not a word to describe Johnny.
Ooh.
Johnny.
Killer.
Yeah, pretty much killer. Here's Johnny. Johnny was a bucket, bro. Johnny was so cold.
There are still Purdue basketball players from the 21-22 season that are in counseling because of the things that Johnny Davis did to them.
I'm sure there are. He killed them. I just watched that game. I just watched those highlights the other day, actually, on YouTube.
It's like Johnny does it, then the Chucky special finishes it off, and it's almost like I know Ivy hits that three, and it's like, oh God, what the F just happened here? But it makes it even better that he did that because the finish was so much better. Gus, I don't know this, but were you on that floor afterwards?
No,
celebrating?
I wasn't at the game. I wasn't at that one. The best Badger game I went to was Frank the Tank night. We also beat Purdue that night, and that night I did storm the court.
Oh, it's good stuff. I'm surprised I didn't see you on there. Usually when I storm the court, they're putting Scary up on the shoulders there until they realize how much I weigh, and then it doesn't work well. Nolan, 38-1. Does that mean anything to you?
Oh yeah. I mean,
Would you be so kind as to share what that means?
it means we have one loss.
Well, okay. Anyone else want to help Nolan out here? It's okay, Nolan. Don't take it too hard, buddy.
How many Kentucky had before we beat them in the Final Four?
Yeah.
That was right. They were 30. For those that don't know, yeah, Kentucky was 38-0. Many consider them the finest college basketball team in the history of college basketball. And then Wisconsin took care of business. The team that should have been the national champion beat them in the semifinals. It's all right. Gus, I feel like this is group therapy for the two of us. I feel like Nolan and John are not along with us on this one. It's all right.
They're figuring it out. They'll have it down pretty soon. They'll have it down.
John, Gus, it's your job to get them there. Can I give you that responsibility? Can I deputize you?
I've been trying. I share my little bits of knowledge that I know every now and then.
Okay. College basketball nicknames are fun. Gus, I think it's time for you to get a nickname. Let's workshop this. What are we thinking? Gus Train?
I like the Gus Van, the Gus
SUV?
Yeah, I don't really know. There's not much that rhymes with Gus. It's hard.
Well, there's less that rhymes with Yalden.
Yalden? Yeah, nothing really rhymes with Yalden.
John, I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I say we stick with Gus Bus. I like
Gus
that.
Bus.
Yeah.
Ooh, I kind of like that. Gus, what do you think, man? I don't want to look. I'm not gonna dub this the official nickname for Gus Yalden this season. Can we try Gus Bus this week and just see where it goes?
I think that'd be fine. That'd be all right.
John, tell me. I know you're pretty new to the program, but tell me one really cool thing about being on the Wisconsin basketball team that very few people would know.
We got a bunch of just underrated guys that are just competitors. I think that's it. I don't know what to say too much.
That's a pretty good answer, Nolan. Same question.
I would say our practices get very intense and have nose backs when it comes to getting in people's faces and whatnot. So practices are always fun and entertaining.
I think we lost John.
No, John just came to get his charger.
Okay. Yeah, it's okay, man. You got the charger. That's awesome.
You got the charger.
I have to grab the charger.
Gus, what's something about being on the Badgers that no one knows that we can tell the tens of people watching this right now?
Gary's the equipment manager. He's probably my favorite. I think he's awesome. Yeah.
What's his name?
He hooked us up. He gets us shoes, clothes, the stuff, the new uniforms. Gary's hooked it up. But other than that, I'd probably say I like Schnott, our weight coach. Like, just being with our weight coach is so much fun. It's so different. Like, he's the most perfect kind of crazy you can get. He's so obsessed with doing everything like the right way, the best way for us. So I think like what a lot of people don't understand is the amount of work that he puts into us being successful on the court and off the court. Being a basketball player and knowing how to play basketball is one thing, but being strong and being physical, fast, quick, like all that stuff is so important in basketball. He does such a good job cultivating that and making us better at that I think if you were to appreciate something on a team the most, it'd probably be him for sure.
I love that. I might have to have a strength and conditioning boss battle between him and Brady Collins.
Yeah.
Like he can pick like Collins will pick squats. Your guy might pick like blocking out or something. I don't know what's the big thing y'all do that's sort of the basketball-esque strength training exercise.
Sleds.
Did I ask you about the hill?
No.
Does that mean something to you?
Nightmares.
Okay. You've heard the stories.
Yes.
You have pre-TSD about the hill.
Yes.
Well, I'm gonna follow up with all y'all on that, and we're gonna do a kind of come down once y'all get a chance to do that. But that's some fun stuff. I can still do it 30 times, but that's me. I'm different. Now I do it by helicopter though, so I'm chopper to the top and then chopper to the bottom. But y'all don't have that. I presume don't have a chopper.
No. Need one.
Okay, and we're on descent here, as I say, and I really appreciate your time again. Which win in 2023, 2024 would feel the sweetest for Wisconsin between Michigan and Purdue? And I know you're not guaranteeing anything. I'm just giving you a straight kind of hypothetical as far as where you are right now. Nolan, start with you.
I'm going to say Purdue at Mackey. To get a win would be huge, and that'd be fun for sure.
John?
I'm going to say at Michigan in front of my peoples. Would be definitely just a dream come true.
Love it. Gus?
I think a win at Purdue, beating the reigning player of the year and the preseason number one team in the country back at their place would be pretty fun.
Are we talking about Zach Edey? He doesn't have a real a nickname that's caught on. I'm just going to call him Elbows.
Elbows.
Because that's kind of that seems. Yeah.
Boulder.
Yeah,
Boulder that you can't move.
He's a pretty good player. I just want to say, if I'm 7'6", I'm taking his ass to the rack, and I'm gonna smoke that guy in 1-on-1. But I'm not 7'6", so there you go.
Yeah, he's 7'6" though, and you're only 5'11", so it's unfortunate. He's just a beast. Can't move him. Can't do anything.
If he could do an NIL for elbows, he would do it. But I don't think it was like an elbow. Like elbows don't do NIL things. There's like a business with elbows. I don't know how that works. Okay, final question, and I'm gonna start with John on this one. I need you to rank these things with 1 being the best, most important, and 3 being the least. A free lifetime meal pass at Mickey's Dairy Bar, winning the Big Ten in 2024, and being on this podcast right now. John, rank those 1 to 3.
I will have to go number 1 being on this podcast.
I love this kid. It's great.
Then number 2 winning a Big Ten championship, and then number 3, I've never been to that place.
Yes, you have.
What's it called?
Mickey's Dairy Bar.
They took us there on our official.
Yeah. You've been there. It's by Camp Randall.
We had it for breakfast.
All right, then I'll put that as number 3.
I got some bad news for you, man. You're not getting the Mickey's Dairy Bar NIL. You can work on that though. Gus, same question.
I'm gonna have to go number 1, winning a championship. Number 2.
Okay.
Number 2 is hard, but I'm gonna have to go Mickey's. Mickey's is so good. And then
Killing me, Smalls.
3 being on the podcast because I feel like we can come back anytime and have another one.
But I do ask. I will follow up with this one, Gus. If the only choice was being on the podcast, would it be number 1?
Oh, for sure. Oh yeah.
Love it. Good. Nolan, same question. You seen what your kid? One of them did it right. One of them was, came in second. How would you rank those 3 things?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with John. Number 1 being on this podcast. Number 2.
That's right, baby. The Dawn.
Number 2,
You know it.
the championship. Number 3, Mickey's Dairy Bar.
Love it. Love it. Well, guys, this was a tremendous, lifelong honor for the 3 of you. And I know it's meant a lot meeting one of your childhood heroes. Jake Ferguson sends his best. Hope you watch him this year for the Cowboys. I almost didn't mention Jake. That's my thing I got to break in every episode. I'm a official Jake NIL. But I wish all 3 of you the best this season. And we'll have you hop on here after the season when you guys have a Big Ten championship. Thanks for joining me.
For sure. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it.